Hi. Hi. Peter, can you just check that I'm on live and just check also that where I'm looking directly at you, please? Okay, hello. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Anne. Nice to see you. Who's coming in? Let's wait, see who's coming on. Can you pop me a hashtag live in? Hi, Hazel. John, hello, Kathy. Alison, I can see you. I can see you. Well, I can't see you too. Hi, Anne. Hi, Anne. Hi, Claire. Hi, Lynn. I'm just waiting for a little bit of time because actually I have the automated bot thing. I've never used anything like this before, so it's very technical for me. Sent out the bot a bit late tonight, so I'm just going to give it a few more minutes because some people will be still trying to find us. Somebody just sending me a message. I'll have to reply to that later. Yeah, so I'm just going to wait just a couple more minutes and let a few people get on and make sure that people are here. It's been a great day seeing all of your names for your Much Mob. Seems there's a couple of people still confused with the model, and I can understand that. It can be a little bit tricky to get your head round, and I'm going to re-explain it all again tonight. And then I might tomorrow just put a little document up on the group so that you can read it, you can read back through it. Would that be helpful? Let me know if it would be helpful, and if you think it is, I will do that. I'll put a little document up just to give you a brief outline of the model and what we're trying to do. I thought I couldn't find you, I was panicking. Hi Ali, hi Pepper. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a minute for those people that can't find. Hi Kath, I can't wait either, I've been so excited. I'm loving doing this. Am I looking in the right direction, Peter, when I'm looking there? Can you see me? Am I looking directly at you guys, or am I looking the wrong place? Somebody tell me. Yeah? And when I look down there, I'm looking at the comments, so just bear with me. If I keep looking up and down, it drives me balmy, to be honest. There's quite a few people that are struggling to find the live when they come on in the evening. So there's a little bit of housekeeping before we go into our monkey management session tonight. So we're going to talk all about how to manage your monkey. What we're going to do is I'm going to recap the model. I'm going to give you an example of your monkey, your unicorn, your computer and your human working as a mob, and then explain to you what we're trying to achieve. Okay? And then we're going to go in and we're going to look at the monkey. We're going to identify the behaviours of the monkey. We're going to explain how the monkey works, and we are then going to take some of the examples of the questions from section A, look at the statistics as how many people actually answered each question, which is really interesting, and work out how we can use the tools that I'm going to teach you to manage your monkey in those circumstances. How does that sound? You're looking above us until you look at the comments. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, right. That's very interesting. Somebody's got to go to work. Might have to leave. That's great. That's fine. It's fine. You can catch it up on catch up. Is everybody finding the housekeeping okay? So you can go into the housekeeping. You can see day 1, task 1. Replay. I've tried really, really hard to make it as easy as possible. So if I do start to look above me, I have got some notes. I take some notes each day because I want to make sure that I tell you everything, because I don't want to miss anything out. And I'll be honest, my monkey unicorn, my monkey gets a bit nervous, my unicorn tries to protect me, all of that goes on before I do this. And my human brain comes in and goes, this is the right thing to do. You need to make yourself visible so that people know you've got a message, and so you can help as many people as possible. really quick example of monkey, unicorn and human working, you know, together. Basically, I want to just start off with a bit of housekeeping, guys. It's been a bit difficult for me to keep up with the tasks every day. So I'm going to ask you, from today onwards, please, if you want to be part of the competition, you have to put your tasks in one of two places. If you don't, you won't get that day's tick against your name that you have done the task. So you need to put the task underneath, either when I put the task out in the morning with a little picture on every day, you can answer it in the comments under there, or you start your own post with hashtag day, it will be 3 tomorrow. Those are the only two ways that will be deemed that you've done it, because some people are putting it under other people's posts, they're putting it under day 1, under day 2, and I just can't possibly go through it all, because the point is I'm letting you have all of the weekend to catch up. So if I was saying, well, everybody's got to do day 1 and day 1, it'd be easy, but it doesn't. Some people are going to be doing day 1 and day 5. So it's either got to go underneath the task for that day, and you can find that by looking at the unit section, or also the tag for day 1 or day 2. You can find that really easily. Or you have to start your own post, which is fine, which is great, and which is actually in some ways better, because then people can comment on your post a bit better, with hashtag day 3, day 4, day 5. Okay, you'd have to go back and change it now for yesterday and today. Don't want you to do that. I just want you to do it from this moment forward. We've caught up with that, so you can help me. The other thing is that people are struggling to find me when they come on. They're going, oh my God, where's the live? I can't find you. I don't know what I'm doing. There's two things you can do. You can either go at the top, and there's a little inverted hat, if you like, and it'll say recent posts or new activity. If you put it onto recent posts, my post will be at the top. The live will be at the very top, because I'll have just started it. Or when you're on the live, which you're on now, if you are, I'm trying to think how you can do it on your iPhone. I don't know how you do it on the phone, actually. I know you do it on the computer. Maybe somebody else can tell them. But there is a way of notifying yourself if I am actually live. I probably can't do it on myself, so that's why I can't do it. But there's 3 little dots, and it says turn live notifications on, which means that every time I go live, and this is a better way, because I might do the odd ad hoc live during the day if somebody asks a question and I think it needs explaining, then if you go on to that, if you click on live notifications, every time I go live, it will say Amanda Duggan is live now. And you click on that link and it takes you directly to the live video. So that's a better way of doing it. But if you don't want to be notified every time I go live, then it might not be. So the last announcement is there has been a few watch parties going on, which is great that people want to share and spread the news. But there's a couple of things. You guys know the formula. If somebody comes in and watches a video like day 3 on day 1, they will lose completely the understanding of the model I'm trying to teach you. And that's why I just wanted it to be a closed group where people that understood and that were committed to following through were going to be on here. So please don't share it outside of this group. The second thing is, if you do a watch party inside the group, what happens is people start to comment on the watch party, but when the watch party finishes, I can't see any of the comments. And when I've finished here at 8 o'clock, I'm exhausted. So all I want to do is go and sit in front of the TV with my feet up. You know, I don't want to be sitting there all night looking for these comments. So please, could I ask you, can we have no watch parties, please? It just confuses the whole situation. Is that okay? Lovely. Right, that's the housekeeping out of the way. What I want to do is just talk to you tonight. Let's have a look what I've got in my note. So, some great names, some really good names. Some of you decided to keep the monkey as monkey, unicorn, computer, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Some of you gave them names of friends and relatives that I could see. Some of you gave them silly names like Sparkle Bottom or whatever it wants to be. And, you know, you will connect with that. It doesn't matter. What we're trying to do is to make sure that we're identifying. so that we're connecting with those parts of our brains, that we're aware of them and they're becoming part of us. They already are part of us, we're just not aware of them. And what we need to do is to become more aware of them. When we give them names and characteristics, we are more in touch with them and we can see them working in our lives better. Okay, so that was really good. It was really simple. Unfortunately, they're going to get harder as the week goes on. You're not going to get away with just a few buttons on a quiz and 4 words for the rest of the week. They will get more difficult. But the more you put into this, the more you're going to get out of it. Remember, I said this right at the beginning, the monkey and the unicorn are smelling change in the air. They are aware that you're going to do something differently and they will be resisting it. So please bear with it. Don't let yourself be distracted to go and do something else at 7 o'clock or what have you, or not catch up on the replays, whatever it is. If you want to do something about this, the answers are in this masterclass. But you need to absorb yourself in it, and then you need to do the tasks and do the things that I tell you as you go along. Okay, like I said at the beginning, just trust me, bear with me for the week. So what I am going to do at the end of the week, you're going to be asked if you want to keep the names that you originally gave your Much Mob, or if you want to change them, because the Much Mob is going to change to become your Chum Chain. And I'm going to explain to you tonight how you can get your Much Mob to your Chum Chain and what that means. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to reiterate from last night the 4 parts of the brain and explain how they work. Somebody said today, I get it, the monkey is the bad part, the unicorn's the good part, the computer's the bit that stores, and the human's me. Well, actually, there's no good and bad. It's all good. The monkey and the unicorn have your very best interests at heart. They are trying to protect you. The monkey wants to protect you from immediate danger. It wants to make sure you've got enough food, and it wants to make sure that you have lots of babies so that the universe carries on. And the unicorn wants to protect you from pain. So it's not bad, and the monkey's not bad. The problem is that they're out of balance. And we were designed to live in the jungle, and we don't live in the jungle anymore. So those human instincts, that base human instinct of the monkey, that reptilian brain, very strong human instinct, was there and was really needed when we lived in the jungle. You know, you had to have eyes in the back of your head. You were constantly looking out for threats. The threats that we have in our life today are very different. They're social threats. They're like, oh, such and such doesn't like me, or I'm not going to get that job promotion, or somebody else has stepped over me. They're not the same types of threats. However, our monkey reacts in the same way. So what we need to do is we need to manage our monkey. We can't get rid of our monkey, and we need to soothe our unicorn, change some of those limiting beliefs. So the quiz identified which part of your brain are in the driving seat. It usually goes something like, in order, monkey, unicorn, then human. That's the normal pattern for somebody who's not been managing and not been looking at how to do this sort of stuff, okay? Now, the computer is often corrupt. I'm going to call it the little gremlins. These are your limiting beliefs about yourself and the world, which make you feel bad and stop you from living your best life. So, if I have a belief that says, people will only like me if I do what they ask of me and I do what they want, okay? Just making sure that I've not, my unicorn monkey jumping down already. I'm nodding at the screen, no one can see. Brilliant. Okay, lovely. Amanda, if you put your device up higher, then you can be more face on to us. We're at your chest level. Oh, okay. I'll try to do that tomorrow. I'm not going to do it now because I'll knock everything all over. But as long as you can see, well, hear me more than anything. It doesn't matter about seeing me. It's more about hearing me, really. You don't even have to have the camera on. It's more about hearing me. On Monday, I want you to be able to see it. I'm going to do a screen show. I'm going to do a slideshow so that you can see all this visually. So make sure you sign up for Monday night, because if you don't sign up, you can't come in. Anyhow, so if I have a belief that people will only like me if they do what they ask me to, and lots of people they've got this belief, and I overhear 2 work colleagues talking to each other about me, and one says to the other, you know that Amanda, she's really loud and excitable, you know, it really wears me out, exhausts me, okay? it would hit me here. I go, and first thing would happen, because it's always monkey first, the monkey would come in, and the first reaction, the monkey would go, kill her. Kill her, she's a threat. Fight her and kill her, okay? Now, if we listen to that monkey, I'd be in prison, you know, and hopefully we're not quite as base as that we would absolutely go to the first reaction of the monkey, but you can see how the monkey would, that's the way it would think. If a threat, let's just kill her, get her out of the way. But then my unicorn will look into the computer and it'll say, oh yeah, we know this, people will only like me if I do what they want, because that's the belief that's stored in the computer. So my first reaction would be to try and change my behaviour to be quieter, more subdued, so that they're going to like me. But I'm not naturally a subdued person. You know, I am quite loud and excitable, and that's fine. But this will cause me, and if I did decide to change myself, it's going to cause me an internal conflict. And it's going to make me feel that meh feeling I talked about. I feel meh, like just things aren't just quite right. I'm not being who I should be. I don't feel comfortable with this. And my unicorn will run in trying to protect me, and it will lead me to a quick fix of food, for example. So I might try and change my character, or I might just decide to stay away and isolate and keep out of the way of them. But then I'm going to be lonely. I'll feel unloved. So I'm more likely to even eat more, because my unicorn's going to go, oh my God, she feels unloved. Let's give her something that makes her feel loved. Is this making sense? Please let me know if it is. And so eventually, when I keep changing my behaviour for what other people want to get them to like me, I'm going to lose myself completely, because I can't remember which bits of behaviour I've changed for which people. And then I end up going, I don't know who I am anymore. You know, who's the real true Amanda? I just don't get who I am. And that feeling when you're not living, so how can I put it? I'm just a mixture of what everyone else needs, and I've lost my power over my own life. So when you're not living your best life, your negative feelings, that void inside you, that, like I say, I can't think of a better word, that meh, it gets stronger and stronger. And your unicorn will do anything it can to quickly turn those feelings off. And we start to try and find something to switch that feeling off, and it goes back into that computer and it goes, what does this quick? And it finds all the things that have done it quick. Food, alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling, you name it. Anything that takes you away from those feelings and numbs you. Because it's protecting you from the pain of that meh feeling. Now, the more you lose your identity, the more often the meh feeling comes in. So that's why at one end of the spectrum, somebody might emotionally eat occasionally. But after many, many years, they feel like they're doing it all the time and they don't understand what's happening because they're just eating. Because that meh feeling is just there. Does that make sense? I'm just going to check that you've all got this. Yes, so much sense. Sounds like me in my marriage, Pepper, bless you. Divorce now, but that was me. A yes wife, don't argue, just do it. Divorce was my freedom. Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, so it seems like you're understanding me. That's fantastic. Okay, so, but what that unicorn is doing is trying to protect you from pain at any cost, but it's a sticking plaster because the belief is still there and the belief drives the behaviour. So the people pleasing continues and the pain gets worse. The unicorn steps in even more, sends more signals to get you to numb the pain, so you start eating more, or you add alcohol in, or more sugar, etc., etc. So, however, if my human could have got involved at the beginning and thinks rationally, it might say, it's not you that she doesn't like, she just doesn't like excitability and loudness. However, if they don't like it, then that's their problem. I'm not going to stop shining my light because it's too bright for them. I'll just find different friends. I'll be polite to them, but I can't be friends with everybody. They're just not my bag of tea, cup of tea. They're not my gang. That's fine. I'll go and find different friends. Now, that would be the human reaction. I'm not changing me for them. They don't like me. That's fine. I can't be liked by everybody. Do you get that? Okay. So I stay steadfast and I don't do what they want. And I don't shy away and I go and hide. I carry on being me and I don't give my power away. And every time I do this, I change that limiting belief or that computer gremlin to a more positive one. And eventually my natural reaction will be, just ignore them, just be you, and you'll attract the right friends for you. And by that time, I'll be surrounded by the right friends who make me feel great, because they were never going to make me feel great. They were only going to try and change me, and I won't care anyhow. So I'm starting to live my own life, create my own reality, and make my life a really happy one, because I am just being with the people that I naturally attract instead of trying to change myself. Does that make sense again? I know I keep saying, does that make sense? Can't think of any other words. Totally makes sense. Gotcha. This is me. Perfect. Excellent. So we're on. If it doesn't, please put that in there. Don't people please me. I need to know. I really do need to know if it doesn't make sense, please, because then I can do something about it. I'm not going to stop shining my light because it's too bright for you. Love that. Tough titty. I love that. Oh my God. Yeah. Ask Marie about tough titty. Maybe she shouldn't. No. Yeah. Okay. We're not going to talk about tough titty tonight. So Marie will be killing herself laughing now because she works with me, and I did actually type a message to her one day. What I thought was to her, because somebody was complaining about something, and I thought it was to her, and I just put tough titty, and it was actually to the customer that was complaining. It was like, oh my God, what the hell? Thankfully, the customer thought it was funny, and she laughed, so I was very lucky, but bloody hell, what a nightmare. Anyway, I digress. So, when I stay steadfast, I don't care if I get the right people in my life. So this process turns our much mob into our chum chain. So from an unruly mob with no direction to a chain of parts that are linked together, working together, friendly to provide your best life. So what we're trying to do is we want the computer to be clean and healthy and get rid of all the crap out of it, and be the font of all knowledge, but the right knowledge. We want the human to access the healthy knowledge that's in the computer and drive our actions accordingly. So there's computer, human. We want our unicorn to be there to remind us of our basic needs, so we make sure we get those met. Love and connection, variety, all of those things I'll tell you about tomorrow. And its needs for happiness, joy and safety. And lastly, we want our chimp to come out strongly in times of threat, absolute famine, and appropriate sexual opportunities. So the chimp's last in the line, but we still need it because it's the one that drives us to eat if we really need, if for example, we found ourselves in a very threatened situation, we want the chimp to step in because it's the stronger one. It's the one that will do the right thing in a very threatened moment. Again, I'm going to ask that question because I can't think of another way. Does that make sense? Changing it from our much mob to our chum chain. So we want to go from monkey first, then unicorn, then computer, then human, to computer at the top that's perfectly clean. Then our human is in control. And then we give a little bit to our unicorn to remind us to nurture ourselves. And the monkey's last. The monkey's sleeping most of the time or playing in the forest. Yeah? Does that explain it better today? Perfect. Okay. So instead of everything being too much to handle, we'll be happy with our chum chain who are helping us to live our very, very best life. So how do you get from much mob to chum chain is what you will learn on the program with me. If you come on the program, and I'll tell you about that next Monday. But over the next few days, I want you to start to make some of these changes. Because willpower on its own is hanging on by your fingernails. It runs out really quickly. Some of you have had surgery, and surgery on its own is a tool, but it doesn't control your behaviour, other than change the size of your stomach and some metabolic changes, which wear off after the first 12 to 18 months. That's why a lot of you on here have already had surgery, but you're still struggling with this stuff. So what this model does, it allows you to understand the why around your eating behaviours and put some extra tools in your toolkit to help you get back in control, so that you're not relying on willpower alone or just willpower in your surgery. You've got a variety of tools that you can use for different occasions. For example, if you try to use a hammer to put a screw in, you're going to make a hell of a mess. You need the right tool for the right job. And that's what I want to teach you over this 5 days. And if you come with me on the course at the end, I will give you loads of tools in your toolkit for you to use the right tool for the right job. Now, if you decide to leave your toolkit at home, there is jack shit I can do about that. I can't do anything about that. That is your responsibility as a human. It's adulting. You've just got to adult up. You're going to go and take my toolkit with me everywhere. And every time I have a situation, I'm going to look in my toolkit and decide which is the best tool to use. Sometimes you won't. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I hit my effort button and go, tools in the shed. I'm not interested. But as I said last night, if you do it, some of the time, you're going to be changing this behaviour. And eventually it becomes second nature. It really does. And it's almost like when you go against it, you start to go, you know. So we're going to talk about your monkey today. So we're going to go through some of the questions from the quiz and analyse them. And I'm going to give you just a couple of tools so you can start to manage your monkey. Let's have a look if there's any questions. Making they are friends. Like working with them exactly, Eleanor. They become your chums rather than your muchers. They're too much to handle. Yeah? Give me willpower. Well, you see, Gail, this does give you willpower because it gives you the tools to help you with your willpower. That's the whole point. Needed to take the monkey out of the brain. I think that would be more helpful. We can't. It's our instinctual behaviour. We might want to do that, but we can't. We have to learn to manage it. Love how plain talking. Got it. Got to move to positive imagery. Absolutely. It's good when you give an example. It helps the understanding. It really does. I love it. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, I've got to pinch it. Who wants to pinch mine? You're not going to pinch it because I'm going to trademark this model. I've decided. I might write a book. And then you guys can go, do you know what? I was on a very fast masterclass when I'm really famous. You know, you can go, I was on their first masterclass. See, that's my monkey going, look, pick me, aren't I amazing, aren't I amazing? I've got a couple of friends on here who will be laughing at that now. Okay, so your monkey was there before you were even born. It's the first part of the brain. It's called the limbic system. It was the first part of the brain to develop inside that fetus. And its primary instinct, as I keep saying, is survival and procreation. If we didn't have a monkey, we would not be alive and we would die. And the human race would go. So it is a very, very important part. We cannot kill it. But it's 5 times stronger than your human brain. And when you fight it, it will always win. Or most of the time. Sometimes we can. Willpower, depending on how much we've got, might help us just to fight the chimp. But you can't kill it. You can't fight it. You have to learn to manage it. To develop tools to help you to get back in charge. Which, if you like, you can call it willpower. So some people do not have a very strong monkey. Unless they are really angry or they're drunk. And this used to be me. When I was drunk, I'd tell everybody exactly what I thought. But when I was sober, I was like, you know, like a little frightened rabbit. And I'm not going to say what I think. I'm not going to tell you what I think. I would be the one. Somebody said, oh, I wouldn't argue over the boundary fence. I'd just let them have it. I would. But when I was drunk, I'd go, that bastard, taking 6 inches off my land. Who does he think he is? And if I was at a party of his, the likelihood I'd go up and actually tell him. You know, because when I lose my inhibitions, my monkey gets stronger. Okay, does that make sense? So these people, they've tapped into other people as their monkey. They're allowing others to control their life and they need to take control back from them. They're giving their power and their energy away. And this is a whole topic on its own and I don't have time to go into it here. But if you are one of those people that shy away from conflict at all costs, you may well have given a lot of your monkey power in terms of fight and standing up for your rights to others. So the other 2 parts of your monkey, sex and food, will be stronger. And if you aren't getting any, then God help you, because your monkey's eating instincts are going to be massive. Okay, so you've got to get to know your monkey really well and to learn to manage it. So some people's monkeys will be aggressive and out there and bold and brass, and some people's monkeys will be timid and shy, you know, the one that runs away, and you know, but you need to know what your monkey's like, and I'm going to give you that as your task for tomorrow. So you're going to get to learn your monkey and tell me what your monkey's characteristics are, so that you can then find the right tools to manage your monkey. Again, does that make sense? You're going to ask if you're going to write a book. I'm going to write a book. I am. It's my husband's fault I'm fat. No, it's not your husband's fault you're fat, Ellen. Okay, that's another thing. Because you've given your monkey to somebody else doesn't absolve you of all blame for your monkey. You can't say, oh well, my monkey was in charge, so that's why I shot the neighbour. It's not going to work, is it? You know? Or I've given my monkey to my husband and he's responsible. No, it doesn't. So you can't necessarily change the characteristics of your monkey, but you're not responsible for its characteristics. What you are responsible is for managing your monkey. And if you give your energy or give your power over to somebody else, you are never going to be in control of your own life. And that unicorn is going to be stamping its feet because you are doing what everybody else wants, which is what I talked at the beginning. So we tend to find that when our monkeys are quite low, if you like, our unicorns are much higher because they're trying to balance and you're not helping. Yeah. So you can either go through life giving in to your monkey or you can learn to manage it. It will feel unnatural. I want you to go unnatural because naturally we're devised to live in the jungle. So we've got to start being unnatural and teach our monkey that we're living in the 21st century in England, where we've got plenty of food, too much food. We don't have the threats that we had before. Our threats are different threats, but they still make us feel the same. So we have to start being unnatural. Unnatural is the new natural. Okay. So the monkey thinks emotionally and catastrophically. It reacts straight away rather than thinking through rationally and responding. It sees everything from its own point of view. It can't see how anybody else can think. It's very selfish. It just sees, well, that person's upset me and they're this, that and the other. It doesn't think about what they might have done to the other person and why the other person might have done what they've done, etc., etc. Whereas the human brain, which I'm going to talk about on Monday, that reacts rationally with cause and effect. But that brain came in 4 years after the monkey brain. So the monkey brain is so much stronger and it's the first place we go. The human brain can see the consequences of things, but the monkey always gets there first, so we have to manage it well. So how do we know which is in charge? It's really, really easy. Ask yourself one question. Do I want the consequences of this action? If the answer is no, the monkey is in charge. So the work colleague says, that Amanda, she's brash and she's loud and the monkey goes, kill it. Okay? Do I want the consequence of that? Well, no, I don't. I don't really want to go to prison. I don't really want to lose my home. I do not want the consequences. So the monkey's in charge. If I am stood at the biscuit tin, I've had one biscuit and I'm just about to have another, and I ask myself, do I want the consequences of this action? And the answer is no, then the monkey is in charge. Because the consequences, I know that once I have the second biscuit, it will not stop at 2. So I have asked myself, do I want the consequences? What is this going to mean? And I have to bring that in. I've got to bring my human brain in and go, ask yourself that question, ask yourself that question, ask yourself that question. Okay? So the best way of describing the monkey is it's like a small child. And it is, because it's the bit that was there before you learn to be a human brain. And it stays at that age for the rest of your life. The human brain doesn't start developing until the age of 2. And the cause and effect and conscience part isn't happening until we're 4. So the monkey brain was in the first 4 years of our life. So it's like a pre-4-year-old child, if you like. And when you're trying to manage your monkey brain, it's like managing a small child. So if you think about, if you've got a small child that always gets its own way, it can become a little brat. And we don't. So if you talk to it with reason with it and help it, and sometimes you just got to give it time out, put it in its cage or the naughty step or somewhere like that. But it isn't very intelligent, so you can box clever. So I've got 6 ways here that you can help with your monkey. Okay, so you can, number 1, you need to identify its behaviours. So you really know when it's in charge. And that's going to be your task for tomorrow. Number 2, you can exercise your monkey. Now, there's 2 ways. You can physically exercise it if it's really angry or it's really, but that's not really going to help when you're in the middle of wanting to go into a binge or an eating situation like that. So what it needs to do is it needs to be heard. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. You need to let it have its tantrum. And the problem is, if it's very strong, it's going to do that. So you know this, right? You stood in front of the fridge. There's a chocolate cake. There's a prawn salad. You know as a human the prawn salad's the best one for you, for your consequences, for your future. Better, well, good. Okay? The monkey goes, shit, chocolate cake. I know, I've gone in the computer. Chocolate cake tastes bloody fantastic. And it's greedy. And it will go, I'm going to eat all of it. I don't care about anybody else. I'm not interested whether anybody else has got any. I'm going to eat all of it, and I'm going to eat it all before everybody even sees it. I'm going to get it out of the way. I'm going to eat it in secret, where secret eating comes in. And I am getting on with it because I'm greedy and I don't care about the consequences. I don't even understand what a consequence is. Okay? And the prawn salad is there. And the prawn salad just likes like beige food. Just don't even see it. Your monkeys come in, and before you know it, you're eating the chocolate cake. Okay? Now, if you try to stay away from the chocolate cake and you start to eat the prawn salad, the monkey will be having a fit. I'll be going, if do you not remember that chocolate cake's in there, maybe you could have a bit after. I tell you what, why don't you have one slice now, one slice later? And then you start with the chocolate cake and it goes, come on, you've had a bit now, you might as well have it all. And your monkey is going and having a tantrum. It's going, I want my own way, I'm greedy. I want all of that cake. I want all of it, and you're going to give it me. Okay? I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit, but can you get what I'm saying? Okay, so even when you're having the prawn salad, it's going cake, 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 cake. What you've got to do is keep going. I know, you're not having it. Just like you would to a small child that was going, I want ice cream, I want ice cream. You're not having it. You're not having the cake. Okay, I know. And eventually the monkey will go, I'm not going to get my own way now, and it'll go to sleep because it's worn itself out. It's like that child having a temper tantrum. They cry and they scream and they shout and they kick the legs, and eventually they go, it's not working, and it wears itself out. So that's one way of managing your monkey. Sometimes that can be really hard, but usually it takes about 5 to 10 minutes of you going, I know, I'm eating this prawn salad, I know. The second way is to distract it. So during that 5 minutes, if that just sitting there eating the prawn salad is not enough, or you haven't got prawn salad on hand, or it's just, whatever, you can distract it. So what you could do is you could do things like brushing your teeth. If I brush my teeth, I don't want to eat. I don't know why, but I don't. Drinking water or a hot drink. These are practical tips that you've heard of before, but it's never really been, well, why am I drinking a hot water? That's just a distraction. What am I distracting? Well, when you realise you're distracting your monkey, and you're just doing it to make sure your monkey goes to sleep and gives up, then there's a reason for drinking the water or the hot drink or brushing your teeth. Because as a consequence of that, the monkey shuts up. You're more in control. What have we got here? It's totally full of monkey mode. Yeah, so can relate to this. My psychologist spoke about surfing the urge, which is a similar concept. Yes, it is, and I will be talking about emotions and surfing the urge for those. But this is almost a bit more, it's like having a relationship with your monkey and realising where the thoughts are coming from and what it's trying to do. So you can actually talk to it like your little child inside and go, you're not having cake. No, you can have a piece of cake on Saturday because it's your birthday. Or, you're talking to it because you know where it's coming from. And you've given it a name now. And tomorrow you're going to give it attributes and you're going to make it bigger so you know what it is. Okay? The third way, again, is to parent it. So you rationalise with it. And you say, no, if you do this, the consequences of that are. And we know we don't want that. I know I don't want that. You might not understand it, but I know. And I am in charge. You're just a child. You're just a monkey. I'm the one that's in charge of this. Another way is the chimp or the monkey's hungry. So you need to feed it with proper food. So when you have the protein salad, even though it's going cake, it will calm down quicker when you are not hungry. And that's another reason why not going to the supermarket when you're hungry. Because your monkey will be out there going, oh, look at that. Oh my God, have you seen those cakes over there? Oh my God, they've got a new one. Look at that wine, that's a new wine. Oh, they've got a mint chopped chip Baileys. Oh, you've been there, you must have been there when monkey's in full flight mode in the middle of the supermarket going, bloody hell, look at that, I've got to have that. And before you know it, you went in for 2 loaves of bread and a tin of tuna and you've come out with so many things that you never went in there for, okay? Your monkey, it's in full flight. It's going, oh, look at that, pick me, I want. Okay? Okay, good. The last one is to give it a playmate. So monkeys love to have fun. Monkey mischief, they like having fun. Now if they are bored or they're fed up and they're not having excitement, they're not having fun, if you give your monkey some excitement and some fun, it will calm down. Because you are giving it one of its basic needs, which is having a bit of monkey mischief, having a little bit of fun, playing with its friends, whatever. This is really difficult at the moment because we can't play with our friends. But if you can give it a playmate or somebody who can be accountable and who you can talk about your monkey to, so maybe somebody else on this group that you can pal up with and you can talk, oh, what's your monkey been like today? And, you know, then that can help too. So I'm going to go into the questions from the quiz in a minute. 45 minutes, Jesus. Been thinking that myself, but 2 stone on since giving up smoking. Should I take up smoking again? No, that's not your highest good, is it? The whole point of this is we are trying to develop our absolute highest good. We're not going to give in to anything that's bad for us that makes us feel good. When you smoke, you're doing exactly the same thing. You're trying to numb the feelings. You're trying to numb the emotions. You're using something else to numb your emotions. So alcohol, drugs, food, and believe it or not, food is the hardest because we can live without alcohol, we can live without drugs, but we can't live without food. So that is the hardest one. Before I go in, let me see if there's anything else. Been thinking, God, that's me again. Oh, look, okay, something nice and new. Oh, let's get it, try it. Yeah, if anyone wants a monkey pan, I'm up for that. Good, excellent. I would do this definitely. The salad and the cake, just to describe it, it's definitely willpower to say no. I hate using the word willpower because it's not willpower. It's about using the right tools to manage your monkey. It's about strengthening the human part of your mind so that you naturally make the right choices. When we use the word willpower, it's like we're hanging on. It's like, oh, you know, it's that hanging on for dear life, and we know it runs out. We want to be making. It's about choice management. It's about making the right choices in every situation that we're in that will be for our better good. So asking that question, do I want the consequences of this or not? Willpower is just, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to have that. I'm not going to have that. I'm on a diet. I'm not going to have that. It's not about necessarily thinking about the consequences or asking yourself, do I want the consequences? And then asking yourself, how am I going to manage my monkey to make sure that it's happy with my choice? Because if it's not happy with your choice and you've not given it something else to do, you've not fed it, you've not parented it properly, it's going to keep coming back and saying, hang on a minute, what about the chocolate cake? So I'm going to say something, your willpower runs out. So we have to make our monkey be happy with our adult human choices. And then eventually it goes, you know, the only time she needs me really now is when she's in massive danger. So I'm just going to go out and play with my friends. Or actually, I prefer to fall asleep all day. Yes, it's not about willpower, it's different than willpower. Again, does that make sense? Let me see. Bad women. Agreement and alternative. Yeah. I don't know what you mean by bad women, Paul, but should I take up smoking again? Maybe it's to do with that. Okay. So it's different than willpower. It's about putting your human back in control so it becomes a natural instinct. Not just with your eating, but in every part of your life. If you do this, your life will change immeasurably in every area of your life. I promise you, it will change completely. So let's look at some of the questions from the quiz. Peter, do you think you can put a light on for me, please? I can't really see. So, I'm not going to go through all of them, but what I am going to do is I'm going to tell you the top 3, okay? So the top 3 answers were, number 2, I often eat more than I intend to eat. Example, you intend to eat 1 biscuit, but often eat more. 95% of you said that is true. 95%, that's huge. Yeah? Okay. I'm not understanding that. I'll come back. I don't know what you mean. Is there a certain time this takes to all gel together? It's individual. The more you practice it, the quicker it'll be. The bigger your monkey is, the more it's going to take to do some managing. If you've got a chimp when you answered 6 questions and somebody else has got one that answered 12 questions, it may take longer for the 12 questions. It's very individual. All I can say is the only way you can do it is by keep trying and keep asking yourself those questions, and each time finding a way of managing your monkey. Okay, I can't tell you an answer to that. There is no set time. What there is you need to make sure that you've got the right tools and you know which tools to use in which situation. And the course that I'm going to ask you if you want to join on Monday will give you those tools and tell you the situations of when to use them. Okay, this is going to give you the override, so that you can still make some inroads. You can see that you can still make some inroads with this and ask the questions, get your monkey back in charge, or your human back in charge, and manage your monkey. You know, like I said to you, I want to give you some stuff you can take away from here. I don't want to just tell you the problem and say, well, I can solve it if you pay me a load of money. That's not the way I work. I want to give you some solutions, and I will. But what I am going to offer you is an opportunity to dive deeper into it if it's for you. You know, that's what will happen. So, 95%, I'm going to go through what you can do with these in a minute. The next was 88%. I have particular foods that I just cannot say no to. And then after that was I feel guilty after eating food because I know it's not good for me, but I cannot stop. And that was 90%. So actually that was more, 90%, and then 88% I have particular foods that I cannot say no to. That, I think that's quite high. Yeah? That's out of, how many people did it? 240 people? Something like that?
Just looking. No, gosh, no. Well, 298.
298 people did the quiz. So yeah, so it's high. That's very, very high. I'll tell you how much it is on Monday, Julie, because I don't want to tell you a price, but not tell you what you're going to get for the price. And that is on Monday night when I've got time to do that, and I can show it you, etc. on the Zoom call. Okay. I feel guilty after eating food. Okay, so let's take this for that one. I feel guilty after eating food because I know it's not good for me and I cannot stop myself. So this is the monkey completely. Okay? Because your monkey is in control and you are not even trying to ask that question, do I want the consequences of this? If you ask yourself the question, do I want the consequences, you would know that the first consequence is that you're going to feel guilty. You would know that. And then it gets tough because you have to go, oof, I'm aware of the consequence and I know what's going to happen and I've told the monkey, but do I still want to eat it anyhow? And then you've taken responsibility for that decision. And that's when it gets a bit tricky because you go, now I'm responsible. I can't really say yes, can I? Because I've actually got responsibility here. And on Monday, I'm going to give you a brilliant 3-question way of getting your human in control every time you want to eat. Every time. I'll talk to you about that, and that will be another tool for managing your monkey. Giving all my tips away for nothing this week. But with this one, I think you need to box clever. So you need to rationalise with your chimp or your monkey and explain the consequences. So, you know, I'm going to give you a really good way of managing this guilt and putting your human back in charge on Monday, but it's all about rationalising. It's about asking questions and saying, you know, last time this happened, monkey, I really felt crap. And I don't want to feel like that again. So I'm sorry, you're going to have to go to your room, in your cage, get out of the way. I'm going to put you in your cage so you can't talk to me because I know what the consequences of this are going to be. Okay, so that's one way. Okay, the next one was eating one biscuit and not being able to stop. So take one out of the packet, perhaps, and put the rest away. Ask others to help. So you might say, right, okay, I know that that's a behaviour of mine. What would I do with that little child? What I would do is I'd just say, give them the biscuit, that's all you're having. You're not having any more because it's not good for you. If you can't do that yourself, you might ask somebody else. So I did a few weeks ago when this lockdown first started. I found I was eating far more chocolate and biscuits than I wanted. So I actually put them all in a box and I gave them to my husband and I said, hide them. And I asked him to ration me to my ration every day. Now, my monkey has calmed down a bit because I've been in lockdown a little while and I've got into my routine and everything else, and I'm more able to do that myself. So this is something we work on forever, and sometimes the monkey comes back and goes, pick me, pick me, pick me, and they, oh, excuse me. And then we need our tools to know what to do. And it's all right to ask others to help you with this, okay? And some of these things you might have done before, but it's the understanding of why you're doing them. I'm doing this to get my monkey to calm down, because it's not me that's weak-willed, it's my monkey that's having a temper tantrum, and it's a child, and I need to do what I do with my child. So ask yourself every time, what would I do with my 3-year-old niece, nephew, daughter, what have you, grandchild? What would I do if they wanted the whole cake in the fridge? There's no way I would let them have it. I just wouldn't, because it's so bad for them. I'd go, no, you can have one small piece and you can have another piece tomorrow or whatever. So that's a really good way. So you put the packet away and ask others to help you, and it will stamp its feet. It will go on, go on, go on. You know you want it, it's fine, you can start again tomorrow. And it will be like that child having a temper tantrum. And when you are having messages that go against what you really want, this is your monkey speaking to you. So if you are stood in the queue you're at a restaurant and you've got the menu in front of you and you're going, right, okay, I need high protein today because I just want a balanced meal and I want something nutritious, and and I look at that and I think, right, okay, I'll have a steak and salad or whatever, and then you see something like, I don't know, maybe full fat lasagna with garlic bread or something. Not that I'm saying any food is bad, it's not, but if it's not really what you wanted to have that day, for whatever reason, the monkey is in charge. And it's going, go on, it's all right, you can start again tomorrow. It doesn't matter, you've always got tomorrow. What it may even do, the unicorn might come in and say, well, you're always going to be fat anyhow. You're never going to lose weight. You can't do that. Those limiting beliefs from the unicorn may even start to come in. And then when they're working together, it's even harder. Okay. So we have to distract it. We can take time out. So we can go and ask it to do something else. Breathe. Surf the wave, like somebody else said. Let it wear itself out. Exercise it. Whatever we need to do. But we don't give in. We don't go, yeah, we go, yeah, go, I've heard you, but you're still not having any more chocolate cake. And I might let you have some tomorrow if you're a good girl. Everything you would do with a little baby. Would you explain more about playmate for a monkey? I eat all day long. I think that's a unicorn. It may be a mixture of both, Yvonne. We'll talk about that tomorrow. It might be that you've got to the stage where your monkey's so much in charge that you're eating all day long. I get very upset when someone says you can only have one. I guess that's Marcella the monkey reacting. Absolutely. And my husband hides licorice. He gives me 4 pieces a day. It's that bit where you eat in, and the second you finish, you realise you didn't even enjoy it. I'm always so cross with myself when that happens. My husband tried doing that with my cigarettes. My monkey wanted to kill him. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was thinking the same on the fridge. Press fecking everywhere. Don't know what that means. Maybe I'll look. Oh, I need to stick a pickle monkey on the fridge to remind me about him every time I go there. Get you. Yeah, absolutely. And fight or flight, my monkey goes on holiday. Okay, all day long. I think that's a unicorn. We've had that. Okay, would I explain more about the playmate for the monkey? Okay, so the monkey likes to have a playmate. It likes to be in play mode. It likes to have some variety, some excitement. It needs entertaining. It needs stimulating. So if you start to stimulate it, and it could be something like go off and do something, play cards at the moment, something to do with your hands. Monkeys like to climb ropes, do things with their hands, so it could be crocheting, it could be knitting. It's a mixture between distraction and fun. So distraction could be brush your teeth, but it's not much fun, is it? Or have a glass of water. That's not much fun. But if you can do something that's fun, that makes you feel good, your monkey is less likely to want the food because you've actually done something else that makes it happy instead of just the food. Now, it's got a huge drive for sex. Just saying. So do something that makes it have fun. That's what I mean by the playmate. Now, what I was talking about with us, you can also have a virtual playmate or playmate that can get involved, that can help you to manage your monkey. So you could have somebody on Facebook where you talk about your monkey, but you have to be very careful with that. What you don't want is somebody on Facebook that'll go, well, just let it have its way this time. Yeah, I know, it's hard, isn't it? Isn't this monkey management difficult? Yeah, I'm not getting it. Let's just go. You don't want that. You absolutely don't. So if you're going to team up with somebody, you've got to team up and say, I'm going to be tough with you, and I'm not going to let you have excuses. I'm going to say, what tool are you going to use for your monkey? Have you used that tool for your monkey? And what was the answer, Because if you're not careful, you can just, what I call, enable each other to stay where you are. Again, does that make sense? Does that make sense more now? My teen stems from illness counsellor. I really need to take control of my monkey. I believe in this. It really makes sense. Thank you. Distraction is good. Very good. Be kind to yourself, Helen, as well, though. Just be kind to yourself. Do your nails stop you by putting food in your mouth? Yeah, that's it. Do your nails. Something fun. Put some monkeys on your nails. Put some unicorns on your nails. Whatever it wants to be. God, stop mentioning cake, please. Okay, I will. It's really difficult not to, isn't it, when I'm like trying to explain this situation. Distraction and allow, but what you've also got to do, I'm in trouble if my monkey only wants sex. She lives on her own. Bless her. What you've got to do, or what you, if no such word as got, is it's not just a case of distracting it. Sometimes distraction works, but sometimes distraction works and then it comes back. So there are using these different tools in the right places, yeah? So letting it stamp itself out and go to sleep and going, yeah? Now the last one I've got here is if you're at the supermarket and you're buying treat foods, just in case, that was the third one, and the monkey behaves like a small child. Again, it's going to have a temper tantrum. Have you ever seen that in the supermarket? I think it's so funny. It happened to me when my granddaughter was there once with my grandson, little James. And he was there and he was going, man, what is that, what that? And he's in the supermarket, he's literally flying his feet around. Well, my daughter is an exceptionally good parent and she doesn't give a shit what anybody else thinks. And she just goes, fine, James, and she just walks off. He's in the middle of the supermarket and he's going hell for leather and she's there. And then suddenly, eventually, he comes running up, grabs hold of her and just shuts up. Because he just knows it's not going to work. He just goes, oh, okay, then. It's not going to work, is it? I'm not going to get it. And that's what we need to do, okay? So another thing is, don't shop on an empty stomach. Make sure that you eat high protein food because that keeps you longer before you go. If you know you can, if you can get to the end of the shop, you know that once you're in the car, it'll shut up. And then you can get home and you've not got the extra food. It'll tire itself out and go to sleep. So do what you've got to do to get in the car. At first, you may have to stop your shop earlier. You might have to avoid certain aisles and not go down them. Even shop online or ask someone else to do it for you. Whatever you need to do to let your monkey know that it's no longer going to win and you, the human, are in charge. And each time it will get easier and easier and easier and the monkey will go, they've got this. No point in me doing that temper tantrum. It doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. Bloody used to. It bloody works. What's the point? So we think we are lacking in willpower. We think we're greedy. We think we're out of control. But we're not. What we need to do is to learn to manage our monkey better. That's the first part. And make it realise that we are the one that is in control to make the right decisions. So today I asked you to give him or her a name. And you really need to get to know your monkey to understand it. Okay, you've got to understand it. Like I said at the beginning, some people's monkey might be really big and aggressive like an orangutan, and other people's might be a really tiny monkey that's really shy and timid and doesn't say what it thinks. And, you know, it doesn't have to be aggressive to be its monkey. And just because it's shy and timid doesn't mean to say it's not greedy. You know, it's still a monkey. So I want you to describe for task 3 tomorrow, what does your monkey look like? So you might draw a picture, you might get a picture and print it. You don't have to have a picture, you could just say it's this, that and the other. I mean, some people are very good at this stuff on computers, some people aren't. So I don't want you to feel, oh my God, I've got to get a picture up there, I've got to draw something. You don't. The most important thing is, what characteristics does it have? Is it angry? Is it impulsive? Is it greedy, lazy, playful, timid, etc.? Okay? And what does it get triggered by? So what have you noticed? Not just around food, but in other things. When have you noticed? Because loads of you've been saying this. What does it get triggered by? And what do you think it needs to make it happy? What do you think your monkey likes the most to keep it happy that's not food related? Okay? Some of those. You don't have to do all of them. Now I'm going to give you an extension exercise. If you wish to do it, there's no prize for it, but it will give you more of an understanding and help you more on this journey. It's optional. I want you to identify the one question from the quiz that you feel causes you the most problems in section A. So if it's, once I stop eating, I can't stop, you take that. And then you tell me what tools you can use when that behaviour is about to happen to manage your monkey. Just one question. And then practice it for the rest of this week. So every time you see that's likely to happen, you get your toolkit out and you start to practice monkey management with that one behaviour. Just one, not all of them, just the one. Small changes make small actions create big change. Small actions create big change, not the other way around. I said it last night. Big actions don't create big changes because we take on too much and we can't stick to it. So just the one. If you wish to, you don't have to be in the prize draw, you just have to do the first part of the exercise, which is tell me the characteristics, tell me what kind of monkey it is, tell me what it likes, what you think it's after, and what it gets triggered by. Does that make sense, my darlings, for tonight? Either or, maybe both. No, first one, you've got to do the first one. The characteristics is the most important. You've got to get to learn your monkey. So the first one is the what do you call it? It's required, and the second one is optional. Do you mean what food or what situation? What situations trigger it, Claire, please? Mine is named Macy after my savage 18-month-old. She's a little monkey. Yay! Exactly. I think my husband might do quite well out of this. Brilliant. That's fantastic. I love it. Glad cake's not my thing. I'm only unsure if monkey and he wants sex. That's my name, Macy. Either or. Has anybody got any more questions? Amber says something. I can't remember the questions. I've got no results. Email. Okay, Amber, we'll try and send you your results. Unfortunately, it's an email by Google Mail, so I can't actually resend it you, but I can PM you your results. So, Amber Baldwin, Peter, please. What else have we got? And again, you can go into housekeeping, Amber, and click on the quiz again, and it will take you through and show you results. Perfect sense. Great thoughts to ponder over tonight now. Thank you. My monkey is different in different situations. Absolutely. So, yeah, that's brilliant. You're already connecting with your monkey, and it will be. Great, Amanda. Probably will love hiding the biscuits. He will eat them, but still stay slim. That's my... Look at this. I'm going to show you. Look at my body. He sticks thin. He eats all the biscuits and all the cake, and he never ever puts it away. It's not fair.
He cycles about 20 miles a day.
He cycles about 20 miles a day, he says, yeah, I know. Very interesting, thank you. Okay, well I do hope it was. I hope you enjoyed tonight's masterclass. It's gone 8 o'clock. I'm so sorry to keep you long. Tomorrow night will be shorter. I promise you. It will be shorter tomorrow. Thank you for being here, guys. It's been lovely. Tomorrow we will be talking about your unicorn. So we will be looking at unicorn, see how we can help to soothe it and talk about what it needs and how you can give that soothing to him or her. So come back tomorrow night at 7 for part 3 of the equation. And I hope that you're understanding this model a little bit more now. I've explained it a little bit clearer tonight. And any questions? I will put questions 2, day 2 questions up now. So if anybody's got any questions that they want to ask me personally to make sure I reply to it, make sure you ask them in the day 2 questions bit, because I promise you if you put it in there, I personally will reply to it either on the live or in the Facebook group. I can't reply to absolutely everything. I try to, but it's really difficult because there's so many in there, which is brown. Okay, lots of love. Take care. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.